Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the beginning of your draft week with me, at least. It's Monday, and we are going to jump into a Theros Beyond Death traditional draft. Right now, traditional draft is the only thing available for us in the new set. That's how Wizards rolls their sets out on Arena. They say if you want to play early, you got to pay some gems to get access to these sweet, sweet Theros cards. But of course, if you want access to sweet, sweet Theros cards in paper, you don't have to pay gems. You're going to pay some US dollars and go to cardkingdom.com. Cardkingdom.com, you can find it in the panel link down below. That's a link from me, so they know that you got there from here. Even if you've never clicked on that link, for me, you've heard me say this. Maybe you're a lurker here, and you've heard this a million times now, but you've never actually visited Card Kingdom. They do know the difference between people who show up for the first time and people who are there for the 27th time or whatever, and they love first timers. So if you want to help my show out and you've never been to Card Kingdom via my affiliate link, you can do that and basically put a check mark on my stream for them, and that's a really nice thing you can do for me without even having to spend any money. But you'll also see one of the best Magic sites on the internet. They have everything you need there, from sealed singles and supplies, and one of the best buy lists, the best buy list, I think, in the industry. Check them out. Thank you, Card Kingdom, for your sponsorship. Mama and Razor Racing. Jinx. Whoa, this is a white heavy pack here. We've got an Idyllic Tutor, which, you know, you are adding 3 mana to the cost of your best enchantment, but you do get 2 copies of your best enchantment, one of them being 3 more than the original. And that can be very powerful if you're finding a great game-winning enchantment, or maybe you just need some removal and you're like, geez, I got to go get it, so I'm going to pay 6 mana to get rid of that thing. And Staggering Insight is an incredible aura for blue-white flyers. This is a constructed worthy type card. You prefer the Chimera here. Hey, Magic. Welcome, Wizards of the Coast. Thank you for the morning host. Good morning, Watsy. We're trying to make a tough opening pick here. Probably just the removal. I mean, I like the Chimera as well, but we could take the Banishing Light or the playable gems. Kind of lean playable gems when I'm on pack 1 pick 1, because we don't know that we're white yet and we're on an account that's trying to build a collection. So on this account, I collection build and draft. Tutor not playable. Fenor nonsense. Of course it's playable. It is what it is. It adds I mean, it depends. I'm not going to play it in every deck. It's not playable in every deck, but it is playable if you've got seriously powerful enchantments. Yeah, no, it's I wouldn't call it unplayable. That's all. I think there's homes for this, and I don't know how fast is the format. That's another question, right? Like, I'm never playing something this clunky in a hyper fast format. Like, I don't think this would fly in Eldraine or something where you're under aggro red pressure, but if it's a slow enough format, that's fine. That being said, this is about gems as much as anything, and I'm going to do that. Banishing Light is awesome, but I'm a disciplined gem drafter around here, especially pack 1 pick 1, where we have no idea what our colors are, and we could end up in white and be like, we could have used that Banishing Light, but if we end up in black green, we're not going to worry about it. Archon is pretty annoying, but is it the pick? There's nothing else really here. I guess we've got Thirst for Meaning. This is one of my big disagreement cards with Luis, although I'm coming up on it. I still think they'll come down on it. I've come up on it because where I was under-evaluating Thirst for Meaning was in the support for finding, just digging deep enough to find bombs. Like, I have another deck that has the blue-white, has the Trawler, and Thirst for Meaning is great in there, even if I draw 3 and discard 2, because I'm just digging for trawlers. So there's definitely some advantages for Thirst for Meaning that I wasn't applying to my assessment of it. But I think as I come up on it a little bit, I think Luis and Marshall are going to come down on it. I think you still need to be very specific with where you're playing this. Yeah, I mentioned escape in my... I didn't mention escape in my updated evaluation because I mentioned escape in my original one. So it's not like I didn't see that and said kind of that's where it belonged. But I felt like outside of escape, I wasn't sure it had a good home. And I think with digging for bombs, and there is some other homes for it outside of that. Anyway, but let's take Archon and start regretting that missing premium removal. But I don't regret it. I made the choice. I had my reasons. They're good ones for this account. This doesn't look great. I guess there's favorite of Aroas. I haven't seen this do too much work, but it's scary. It kind of sits there being scary because you know that it could become like a 6-power attacker all of a sudden pretty easily. The question is, what else will we take if not? I don't see anything here. I mean, we can take Impending Doom, but this tends to go late, like this Wheels, right? Yeah, let's try Favored. We're already in white. And there, I don't see anything leaping out to contest an on-color pick here. Celebrant is interesting. We've passed 1 million Rise to Glories now, or maybe 2. But I think we take Careless Celebrant here. I don't know if Hero Wheels, we'll keep an eye out for that. But it looks like we're starting to head towards maybe something Boros-y if we take this, which I think we should. It's just too inherently good. Rise to Glory is neat, but Careless, ooh. Well, maybe we'll get out of white then, but this is just such far and away the best card in the pack that I'm going to take it. You think it's so bad we take Rise here. All right, well, I'll pull it. If everybody in chat's like, Boros is so bad, we don't want Celebrant, we want Rise, I'll do it. So, Celebrant or Rise. I don't think anything else is competing. I mean, maybe Hero. I'll put Hero... I guess there's the Caryatid, if you wanted to add green. I think that's all the possible picks here. I don't think they're taking Vexing Gull. Ooh, very close, but 14 on the Celebrant. I said I'd go with chat. I'm just going with chat. And then I get to blame you. We don't need to play this, by the way. You know, we just took the best card and we can still not play red. This doesn't lock us into Boros by any stretch. And we're going to grab the Chimera here quite nicely. I wouldn't mind a Storyteller as well, but I think Chimera is better. I don't know. I don't think the polls are case sensitive. Not when I run a poll, Eduardo. That's one of the powers of streaming is that if you run a single poll at the beginning of your event, you can, if you want, and it's an if, blame the entire event on chat. Oh, Cardboard Live is not because I don't have it open. Let me get that open. Thank you for the reminder. Looks like my computer restarted or something. Updated. How's that? All right. Well, it shows it is working, but I'm not getting a draft thing right now. Maybe when I switch picks. Nice try, Eduardo. Does not work. I am innocent. Yeah, I'm going to take Chimera. The Storyteller is fine, but Chimera, I think, is... actively exactly kind of what you want to try and do in this deck. This is a nice place to pick up a Pilgrim. I've been liking Flicker of Fate more and more, but Mystic Repeal might just be even better. Are we happier with green? You know, we can take Mystic Repeal and bail on the Celebrant. You can get Flickers. Also, Mantle is kind of interesting to me. There's several interesting cards here. Omen is interesting. This is a pretty, I'm seeing a lot of green here. Like, this is pretty high-powered green to still be here. It makes me want to take the Mystic Repeal and hedge towards listening to the bots and grabbing some green. And look, we get a Warbriar Blessing, 8th pick. I think we found the right place. Don't think we're running this or this, so we'll grab Lantern for the board. Plummet for the board, also interesting. I'm not into this enchantment here. I guess we just take Plummet for the board. I like that over Altar. Interesting. I saw that Envoy and was happy, but Warden's is also good. However, Envoy puts us towards like working with Pilgrim and Favored to really work that strategy. So I think you like that's interesting. Maybe we'll vote this one. So here's what Envoy has going for it. It is an aura in and of itself. It's a small one, but it triggers Aroas, and obviously makes our auras and future auras cheaper. And we do have a Pilgrim, so we're going to be looking for more good auras like Blessing and stuff to be hunting up with Pilgrim. So it's pretty synergistic with what's going on. Wardens also is, I find, Reach is nice, especially like in green-black, where you don't have a lot of flying defense besides targeted removal. So in this case, we do have a lot of flyers of our own. So one of the big uses of Wardens is reduced here. Like a big plus of the Wardens is its reach, but it's not actually a job we need as much in this deck as some other ones need. So I think we go, I'm not even going to pull it. I'm talking myself through it. And yes, I agree. These are interesting, both synergistic with what we're doing and everything, but also we might not even be white, or we might not even be green, where we're definitely going to be white. So I'm going to take Envoy for the certainty of white and the fact that one of the big bonuses of Wardens is that they do a job we're already doing. So I guess I'll take Vault Progress. Well, we'll be splashing Poly, it seems, and happy to be in green as a result. This is our second Pelucranos that we've opened on stream. What else have we got? What are we looking to wheel? It'll be nice if something like this little Grove Dancer comes back, or a Moss Viper. Be happy with either of these. And let's start looking for splash aids. I don't want to be running 3 swamps trying to cast this Pelucranos. Yeah, Apathy probably is the pick otherwise. We can take gems here, and what's the cost? Well, now we have a real cost, now that we know our colors, I'm less inclined to gem pick, especially since this isn't playable gems. Horn Beetle is a fantastic 2. This is a fantastic 6, but there's I'm kind of into the 2s, actually. I know this is great, but we can only handle so many 6s, and Horn Beetle can just get out of hand. So, yeah, Sunset says take Tarmogoyf. Okay, I'll take Tarmogoyf. We got Sentinel's Eyes, Return to Nature, Blessing. All 3 of these would be happy inclusions in what we've got started here. What is least likely to wheel? I guess we only need, take a return. Take first return. Although I kind of want also first Blessing. I think Sentinel's Eyes we would like, but I think the deck really wants a Blessing and a return. But I only want one of these. Yeah, this is a close one. How about I'll pull this one because it's... I don't think you can go too wrong here. I think both of these cards are nice. But let's talk Nature versus Blessing. And if you want the Eyes, I get it, but I think we can wait on our first Eyes. I think we want to start on Nature or Blessing. Caramaker's Blessing here, or Return to Nature. think my son is in his room cranking something. Well, suddenly I heard really loud noise, and I was thinking I was alone. But then I remembered my son is in finals time, which is one reason we have no new memes right now. He's slammed with schoolwork, but he's finishing up a finals video project from home, and I think he was just playing it to test it and kind of cranked it. All right. I didn't even see the result of this poll. Nature crushed. Okay. That's where I was at, so that's fine. Here's a Hero of the Pride, which I think I like over the Grove Dancer. The Grove Dancer is in and of itself an enchantment, which does help with certain of our triggers, like on our favored. But I think Hero receiving boons, targeting Hero with enchantments is ultimately going to be better for us than the Grove Dancer. Oh yeah, Amulet. We can take Amulet, make sure we play Pelucranos. I kind of want to wait. Like, these go later. And we're at pack 2. I'm going to be a little tighter on card quality and try and find an Amulet later. Oh, you want the gems? Sure. Yeah, we could take gems. That's true. There's nothing great here. I didn't really see that the rare was still in the pack because they're not usually... Although, you hear people say that, like, the arena bot's just rare draft. You can't draft rares on arena. It's like, what do you mean? They kind of rare draft at human levels, which is to say it's hard to see ones 6th or later or whatever, but you do see these types of rares going 4th and 5th, that kind of thing. All right, we'll take the gems. That's fair. I'm on Team Gems. Here we have another Mystic Repeal, another Return to Nature. Let's get rid of this Celebrant. We're definitely not doing that now. And this Courser is interesting, but a little oppressive. I think we just take another Mystic Repeal. But we're now getting a little overloaded on naturalized effects. I think we're kind of done there with Return to Nature and 2 Mystic Repeals. And might not even run 2. Like, yeah, I'll probably do 1 and 1, but this is so powerful against the right decks that maybe we'll even do this. Wow, another Mystic Repeal. That definitely would be the board. And we could just take a Sentinel's Eyes at this point, or even a Courser. Some 4 Power Matters wouldn't be the worst. Well, 2 of the 3, right? Like, do you want to run 2 Mystic Repeals and a Return? That's... Do you think Scout is good? I think Scout is whatever. But we are low at 3s. It just doesn't do anything. It's not part of it. It doesn't synergize. Scout's been very whatever for me. Like, I kind of want the first Sentinel's Eyes over Scout. Huntmaster is also kind of interesting, but I want to get our 4 power elsewhere. Yeah, I hear you. And we don't have any yet, but I don't think this is the card to do it with. You like the 4/3? I'm gonna go with my gut and take the first Sentinel's Eyes. I think we make sure we get that. Here's a Flicker Fate. This is a little clunky. We're not really ramping is the thing. We could do it. We're not really ramping. Flicker and Binding are both interesting too. Pursuit does help the splash, but let's see, top 4. Because this kind of does the same thing. You're putting the top 3 in. So, you're doing something similar here.
Some say I never heard of ya. A rap
Thank you, Croker. All right, we'll take Pursuit. Hydra's growth for the board. Maybe main. Gotta be very careful with this, but we'll see. All right, now we have pick 9. That Grove Dancer did wheel, so did the Binding. Probably just want an actual 2-drop dork. as opposed to the binding. Although I'm higher on the binding than some. This is a chance to mention Chain to Memory. So I was talking about how Dazzling Lights was a favorite card of mine in Guilds of Ravnica. Dazzling Lights is a single blue for instant. Target creature gets -3/-0 until end of turn. Surveil 2. And it was so much better. That Surveil 2 -3 was wildly better than Chain to Memory has been so far in here. And I just wanted to bring it up because it just shows how much synergy impacts card evaluation, and therefore why how card evaluation is so tough at the beginning of a format. Because we didn't understand when we saw Dazzling Lights how much the synergies with, not only the synergies with Surveil matters in Dimir, which is the obvious aspect of that card that's different, but I want to call out specifically that Dazzling Lights was a major Boros hoser. And if you were a Dimir deck in the kind of 3-deck format of Guilds of Ravnica on Arena, where people were Izzet, Boros, and largely Dimir, it was fantastic to have that Dazzling Lights in your Dimir deck because you destroyed Mentor. Like Dimir's Dazzling Lights would just destroy Dimir's Mentor, or Boros's Mentor attack, and win games for 1 blue mana. It was incredible. And then here, we're not trying to do stuff with instants. We're trying to cast, flash auras. That's the synergy here. This has no synergy with what's going on in the set. And so it's very hard to find room for this when you've got all these auras and things like sagas fighting for non-creature space in your deck. And suddenly you just can't shoehorn this thing in. And it does some stuff. Like you can win a combat with it and have a good scry or whatever, but it is nowhere near the impact and synergy levels of Guilds of Ravnica. I just wanted to go on that little aside because I think this is a great example of how tough Magic is to evaluate a new set and how important it is to play the cards and understand the synergies to really understand where the power is in a set. So, yeah, we could get Mirror Shield as well for protecting Hydra, but that's battle cruiser building, which is not generally how I like to approach things. I think we go Binding or Grove Dancer, and when trying to choose between two like this, I want to pick the actual creature. We want to make sure we don't end up low on creatures here. Yeah, Rob, maybe Chain, maybe the thing is I haven't found the synergies for Chain yet, and I will, but the point is I think it's really interesting that how immediately it's clear that it is not anywhere near as important in the format. Yeah, we'll take Training here over Forerunner. Forerunner has been interesting as kind of an aura to give everything trample, but it's really, really underwhelming as a 3 toughness 5-drop. But Training is nice because we can throw a Training on, if we do pick up like a 3-power creature, suddenly we can turn them into something that will trigger the Beetle. Oh, here's the Sentinel's Eyes. If I knew we were going to wheel this, I would have taken a different pick with my first. Maybe we'll play 2, but probably not. Another Grove Dancer's fine here. All right, Shadow Spear is cool. Pretty bomby. Gems, etc. What do we like on the wheel? Maybe we can come up with one of these on the wheel. Here's a Trawler I'm a little more into taking. Yeah, still looking for our support to splash Poly, so let's not forget that this pack. We passed on that Amulet, I think correctly at the time, but now I'm a little nervous and we'll prioritize an Amulet quite highly, but we're going to take Brawler here. Try to wheel that Training. This does not count as fixing. This is fake fixing. At this point, I'd rather run a third swamp than like 2 swamps and an Unknown Shores. But there's nothing here for us except a Courser, I guess. Maybe we run this. It's just pretty oppressive with the white. Taking over what, Fenor? The land? I mean, something we might actually play? Like we could take Fateful End. Maybe we double splash. I think I'll take the Fateful End. And we may end up with... Maybe we get lucky and we get... Our next 2 picks are the 2-drop tap for any color green common, you know? I think we might wheel this, and I don't... we already have two 6s and a 5, so I'm not looking to add to my 6s. Yeah, it's okay with Spear, but we just... I don't know, we have high end. I'm not looking to add a 3rd 6 here. When I can take... I know it's a pack 3 spec, but if we do get a couple of those mana creatures, we will run this. No mana dude here, but we can grab... Oh, there's another Fateful End, too. Wow, red was wide open. Could have ended up there, but we'll take a Chimera. This is what we wanted for helping out Beetle. Beetle into Chimera is stupid. How are we on creatures now? Because we've got the Training or the Grove Dancer. We have... probably not doing that. We have... 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we gotta take the Grove Dancer. We need creatures. I'm not loving Grove Dancer deck here, but we'll party amongst the fruit. And again, I mean, we can take a 5-er. Do we want a first Rumbling Sentry, a 3rd Mystic Repeal, or a Grove Dancer? Eduardo wants 3rd Mystic Repeal. We didn't take the other 3rd one. This is the 4th one we've seen, but only the 3rd one we can take. I've seen the stats on Sentry, but it doesn't make it good. According to what stats? Where are you getting that info, Silo? Well, I think we need Sentry more than Repeal. We have we have a Repeal on the board and a Return to Nature. I think 3 is kind of all we're going to want to do there. I will take the Sentry, as marginal as it is. Wow, we could have a million Grove Dancers. It's very funny. Scotty Nada and Mobius streams. Yeah, but where did they get it? Is it them tracking their own results? In which case, what does Scotty Nada plus Mobius actually even tell us? Everyone wants Glory Bearers for this curve slot. It is an enchantment creature. It's a little rough, but yeah, we'll take it. I guess we take the altar now. We have some 5s and 6s to ramp to now, and obviously we want to cast Pelucranos. Yeah, the Sentinel thing. That's... number of Grove Dancers is insane. We've seen so many. But I think we just want another Envoy here, or maybe we don't want Envoys now. Did we? We didn't really end up there too much. Let's see. We've got Blessing. Eyes don't get cheaper. Training. Not playing this. Well, we could. We'll see. Hydra's Growth. Yeah, we are probably not. We're not doing Envoy enough. I don't think it's good enough Mabinap as just a 1/2 enchantment flyer. I don't think that's enough. If we're just happy because it's an enchantment creature, then just give me 2 power. I'd rather take 2 power on the ground than 1 power in the air. So, given that I just don't think we're actually transcending into many auras here. Yeah, but Eduardo, what is it doing? Like, are you running this? Like, I think there's a chance we run this, you know, 4th Grove Dancer. I don't think there's a chance we run a 2nd Envoy in a deck that currently has 3 auras. Another Sentry. If we really want to pile that up, we can get some extra life out of the Petitioner. I'm not into the Petitioner, though. I think I'll take a Sentry for the board, in case we feel we need another big dude on the ground. Again, I don't think we're going to splash with Unknown Shores, but I'll take that. We can consider running this. Two, 3 Flying Vigilance is pretty real. I don't know, 3/3 Ground Vigilance is pretty real too. On turn 3. I feel you. I know what you're saying, but I feel like Envoy needs help for me to feel good. It needs to either get pumped or reduce costs of a lot of enchantments, or really be part of, you know, an incredible enchantment game plan. Like, you're really trying to put a 4-drop enchantment on this on turn 3 and just get there, and it's like we're just not doing that. So then it becomes, I think, with all the things we're not doing with this card, then it becomes a hard comparison to me for just a 2/2 on the ground. We can play Poly. We're going to do it. Our deck isn't that powerful, so I want to play something powerful. We have Altar. We can even do Altar and 1. We can add so many of those. Hi, D. My weekend was pretty good. How was yours? Oh, I missed a box. Yeah, I don't think we're running 5 of these. But our current, we're at 1510. Looking for the box redemption. I don't see it. Where did someone want to update me? What box redemption did I miss? Poly under link. Okay. Y'all taking bets on when I finally drop one of these things? What's in here? Rats of Nim is heavy. There's heavy stuff in here. Hope it doesn't fall on me. Would I ever play the Tutor? Not here. We didn't get anything worth getting. But yes, that was the debate. If the format / matchup is slow enough and I've got a bomby enough aura, then yeah, absolutely. But there's no good reason to play this here. Yeah, they fetch gods too. If you have a bomb enchantment creature, you can get that. Let's cut 1 Sentinel's Eyes. Do I even want this Envoy at all? We'll leave the 1 Envoy in and see, but I think I prefer the Grove Dancers. Maybe we can we'll run the 1, and then if we get it, we can remember that it could be a 5th Grove Dancer if we wanted it. Or a Rumbling Sentry. Here, 15-9. We could start with the growth in the board. Although, what is this Heliod's Pilgrim even doing in the deck at this point? I guess it gets the Blessing, which is good enough. Blessing and Training. Could go down another Grove Dancer. Go 14-9. Let's look at our board too, make sure we're not forgetting anything obvious. What do you think of this? This is enough to do early. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 plays by 2. 3 and 20, so 1.5 and 10. Yeah, we're kind of on the edge of likely to, you know, I kind of like to have 7. Maybe I will put 1 more back in. Then were we cutting? I normally would cut the Hydra's growth because I don't like starting with high risk, high gain auras like this. But if we're going to run a Pilgrim, I think we just have to run the Hydra's growth. And we could also go Hydra's growth, Pilgrim out, and just bring in another dork. I haven't done black yet. Don't worry. We're going to fix the land. Another... Oh, yeah, yep. Yeah, I guess we'll just take the risk. I don't know how to start. I'll just start here. Let's fix the land and go. I'm going to go... The question is 1 swamp or 2? And where do we put our extra? Forest or plains? Probably forest. All our early stuff is green right now, except for a couple of things. Got some double white late, but early we want green. Darking, I have not noticed anything obvious. We had one person report that they feel that white black is pretty open on the bot side of town, but have not confirmed nor denied that myself. Yeah, we could up our creature count, drop, return, and just run the Mystic Repeal and bring in tons of anti-enchantment if we're sure Oppo is doing it. So far, I felt like you can run 2 things main and you'd be happy, though. We do want to be somewhat aggressive here. I don't know. I don't know how we're winning. I guess we're winning like with Archon and Poly. I'm just going to go with this so we can get the show on the road, but I want to reset casting costs, and we're going to call this something about the Grove Dancer. Dancing near fruit. Give me a fruit dancing pun of some kind. Because of Grove. I was thinking of Orange Groves. Orange Ballet. That's nice and weird. Nobody else came up with anything better, so now you get a bad name. Let's update this record. I can par-poll this if you want. Everything else looks correct. We're not very attrition-y or anything. We're trying to get on them here, so we're going to start on the play. Splash coming back to bite us. If this were a forest, we'd love this hand. As it is, doesn't look keepable. And that's not either. Woohoo! Hopefully the London will bail us out here. Definitely keeping this, and honestly, boy, we dropped 2 lands. We're looking at 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. 13 lands left in library, effectively. But we'll reshuffle after we Pilgrim, so I'm going to go ahead and bin 2 lands. And then those lands in the bottom will get back in the mix of possibly being drawn. can't really do anything to get this to a 3/3 next turn, no matter what we draw. So I'm actually going to lead on Dancer. In case they kill it, let's have them kill the weaker bear. All right, cool. Found our land, so we can shuffle and go find something. That's all it does? I don't think so, but there's famously like there's a red 1/1 for 1 that taps to target player shuffles their library, and it was used as kind of with infinite untapping to just infinitely make your opponent shuffle their library. That was a bad design. You don't want to do that. Sorry, Oppo, I'm reminiscing. Should we just take the removal? There's a lot of naming issues in this set. Everything's called a blessing. There's a million blessings and a million wardens. Let's see, if we attacked, they can just block the Wanderer, so no attacks. Soldier of Fortune. Yep, you got it, Parker Tree. I don't know if it'd be worth printing, but you could make, you know, a single blue mana instant or sorcery, shuffle your library, draw a card. White green, not auras, splashing Pelucranos. So let's see. Single white mana. I don't have the trick list up. Do we know of any tricks for single white? Let's see. This is THB instant speed. Oh, sure. Karamitras. Thank you. I can't believe I didn't remember that one without needing to look it up. Yeah, given they're an Eidolon deck, the thing is, do we care? Because we're just going Horn Beetle. If we draw a land, we can draw a forest. We can go Horn Beetle Blessing anyway. I'll trade Pilgrim for their trick. Wow, natural Poly. How about that? Yeah, and we'll start with Poly, and then next turn drop the Horn Beetle, and it'll still get the bonus. Just needed to not be enchanted by that common white enchantment. That would stink, but we got to try here, right? And if so, we have some enchant removal main that we can find. It's everybody's dream. We had Hydra's Growth and Pelucranos in our last Pelucranos deck too, and it was quite sick. Wow. I want Oppo to have a mountain now. Oh, maybe they will. You never know. And if so, do you think is there some 5-color, some Wooburg thing in the set I'm not thinking of? Well, you wanna? I mean, we're gonna lose it if we don't. Thing is, if we use Blessing, we actually get some removal. All right, since we're gonna lose one of them anyway, I don't think this is necessarily correct, chat. I think I would rather just War Blessing and take something out here. But it's too funny, so fine. For the memes, for the television, we're gonna do it this way. Yeah, Fiddles wants the Fiddle. I don't know if Fiddles wants the grown-up move. Fiddles is expressing that the grown-up move is blessing, and I agree. But this is a we're streaming move right here. We don't get to do it later. This is going to take whatever we leave in our hand. All right, now let's see if we actually get to keep this or not. No, we've just, I mean, remember, Hydra's growth, aura enchantment is like not even magic you necessarily see, right? It's just, this creature is enchanted. So the way I see the flavor here is that Pelucranos is already a Hydra, and Pelucranos is, now we have enchanted Pelucranos with, that Pelucranos is just growing heads extra fast, but it's not, you know. Yeah, we untap with Pelucranos. Don't we just get to win now? Well, it doesn't have trample, so they're just going to start chumping here. I think we fight the Eidolon and... And then, well, let's make him chump first. Let's let him do the chump. Our mana is kind of screwy. I mean, it's just a splash queen. It's not screwy. It's just 2 swamps and a artifact that taps for anything to support a bomb mythic splash. Because if we fight the token and hit for 13, they just attack with the Eidolon and keep chumping. We need to take out the Eidolon, people. Need may be strong, but I think that's the best path to victory. Well, they don't. They're top decking for answers to Poly. Maybe they'll find it, of course, but I mean, they have drawn a lot of cards here. We gave them a card when we killed the Eidolon, for example, but we're just all in on Paul. It'll happen or it won't. They got a lot of cards, so it would not surprise me to lose Poly here. Yeah, we win if we untap, but I'm not counting on it. They get one final draw. Scoop it. All right. Whew. Faded a lot of draws. I mean, you know, if they had dragged the Underworld, or you know, there was some outs that Oppo had there for sure. Well, finding Pelucranos on 4 fixes a lot of mulligan issues, right? I understand it. They were attacking Clay because maybe they had drag to the Underworld outs, and they put an aura on their creature that allowed them to draw a card. So they were totally playing to their outs. Let's see. See a DC. So they're on at least 4 color Eidolon aura stuff. Pretty bold. Double splashing for staggering, it looks like. Or maybe not. Maybe they're base black green, and no, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing exactly. But we certainly, given the prevalence of auras, can bring in all of our aura junk. So we bring in Mystic Repeal, and we already have the Return to Nature in, right? And we will cut So, what are we cutting for this? Just get rid of the Hydra's growth. Now that they've seen it, it's going to be less effective. I don't want to go down more creatures. I'm going to cut in eyes. Yeah, maybe eye. Oops. Yeah, that's fine. We'll do that. I like that. I like cutting eyes. Didn't seem great in the matchup. Again. We're going to keep this, though. We've got a Favorite of Iroas and a Shadow Spear. Not throwing this back. Oh, I was like, why are we stopping? Turns out an extra bonus of Shadow Spear is that it has a single mana disguise your auto pass stuff. All right, well, if we don't find a forest, we still have the favored play, but wouldn't mind finding our green. Hey, there it is. Thank you, deck. Appreciate it. We're just going to start on favored, though. Yeah, this is actually great against the Dream Trawler. You can legit get that thing. Well, they are stuck. But we could equip up here. But I'm actually more inclined to just drop a Chimera after attacks. Well, yeah, but then you just want to keep making them discard cards, Grimoire. 1 mana Oppo discards cards until they're out of ways to protect their dude seems pretty good. The trouble with equipping is that it costs 2, and then we do no further board development. They're stuck on land. I want to get creatures out. I'm going to give them. They might even have something to take out the favored here, but it's okay if they do. I'm okay with it. We're going to play the Chimera and try and get wide and fast with them struggling on mana rather than mess around with equipping right now. We want to deploy bodies to the board. That's good. I mean, it means they had that instant speed. Okay, that was a good play from Oppo to have something to do on 2 like that. Surprised they didn't take out favored, because they could have gone -1/-1 here and blocked, but they chose not to. What? Dude, you can sack this and go get a land. Or a friend, Oppo. Huh, alright. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with Sentry here. I don't think we need to do anything besides keeping it on with our biggest board affecting plays. Well, we need that forest. Yeah, it's fair. And then they ended up doing it anyway. Yeah, just Brago just missed that one. Yep. I can't fathom forgetting anything like that. When you're a perfect player like me, the mistakes of your opponents are quite striking and weird. Mama. Parental solidarity, please. Okay, that looks pretty nice. So we can train and spear, and I'm going to save the growth still. No need to do that yet, but we can get a training on the favored. Thomas. Surprised he's not here bragging about it. I went 0-3. It was pretty awful. Some of it was my drafting, some of it was my play, some of it was my luck. I went 0-3 on the 0-3 on the day and 0-3 on the critical axes of limited success. Drafting, play, and luck. Sorry, let's get back to this. We want to go, we're going to play a plains, but we can wait. Let's do this in case we find Polly, and we'll drop this on the favored. Oh, that's interesting. Although I kind of want to wait. Yeah, I'm just going to play the Shadow Spear instead. And I'm going to throw this on the Sentry. Oh, I guess I should throw it on the Double Striker. I'm trying to broaden my threats here. But the Double Striker gets more damage. I don't know. Yeah, I should have put it on this Double Striker. I might move it after this. Although we can cast... Oh yeah, I'll just move it. I'll move it back. Yeah, it's true, that does get... Well, they both have trample though, right? Where's that from? How am I getting... Yeah. That is true. But I think probably for my final mana, I am going to move this back over here. Yeah, the trample was... I didn't really do the trample math, so that's fair. But I want a Hydra's Growth favored next turn, so that's what I was thinking. But you're right, it still might be that it's better, more damage to get that trample. But I figure Hydra's Growth is worth 1, Spear is worth 1, doubling that is 4, 4. So like this is doing 4 more over there. Let's see, how could we be punished? I guess there's... I mean, with Caryatid, it could be anything. We could get punished by a lot of stuff here. So that's... So yeah, putting Trample on the Sentry would still not be worth as much if we Hydra's Growth here, though, is what I'm saying. So I'm gonna go for it. It's a little bit risky into the open mana, but I think they're... Ooh, they are pausing too. I wonder what's going on. Does it pause just because you can tap for the mana? Uh-oh, might get blinked here. Prepare yourselves. definitely took some took a chance here going, oh, well, so far it's going okay, but I'm worried now because they paused and clearly have a potential. Like, what I don't know is if the game pauses you just because you can tap for mana, even if you can't spend that mana. I'm not sure about that. Well, okay, let's talk damage now. This is going to attack as 10 points of trample, and this is chumpable. If we move it, then this is attacking for 8 points of trample, and this is attacking for 4 points of trample. So it's 12 points of trample versus 10. Doesn't feel like it changes that much. So yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out, whether we're playing the bears or not, and I think we are. I'm not going to move it. But yeah, Grimoire, if there was a really good reason to move it there, I would have, but I don't think the damage was significant enough. Oh, looks like they maybe do have the flicker. Yeah. Yeah, you could hold the bears to trigger again. That was also an interesting idea. I basically, though, with them at 9 and struggling on mana, I'm just trying to turn sideways here. Yeah, you're definitely right, Steven. I was a little greedy there. I called it out, though, at the very least. I wasn't going in blind. I said, I'm about to do something greedy, and then I got punished. So I guess maybe I should listen to myself when tell myself when I'm about to do something greedy. You know me, normally I'm pretty conservative, but have been putting on the greed today for variable results. We can pilgrim for the fight aura. Let's do that. Pilgrim for fight, and we can still fight and shadow spear, so it seems great. I'm gonna get this potential double striker extra tough. We're just gonna fight their double striker anyway. And then by spearing it up... Wait a second, let me think this through. I'm at 0 hourglasses, but I've got 2 damage here. If I spear it up, and they double block the... They put everything on the favored, then... Well, they can kill... No, then we get an extra toughness off the bearers. Okay, so yeah, it's worth doing. Yeah, they couldn't really afford to triple block it, but they could, right? If they, if I... Right, for the spear as well. Good point. I think we got game 1. Oh, we had already game 1. This is game 2. They need to have one heck of a play to not lose to what we've put together here. Well, they get our Chimera. Maybe I was supposed to cast that somehow, but it doesn't feel like it matters. That's a reasonable thing to do. I've been lamenting that my bottom overlay no longer matches the layout of the game because I had the overlay made when the layout was different, but I could do that. We can go, so what you're talking about is saying that right now we are 0.5 and 0, halfway to a win. It's a little weird because that maybe look like to people like a 5. All right, we've got a Berserker to worry about. We'll start here. We have a couple of double white spells, but no double green as far as I remember, and we have a green to play anyway. Enchantment creature triggers favored again, which is good. Yeah, I'll do that here. Although that gets a little bit big. I could do this. All right, well, we're definitely playing this, and then see if we want to move the trample. So this would become a 2/5 double strike, which trades with 2/6. So that trades. So we can actually move this 2/4. Then it becomes okay. They give up. Was doing the math. Oppo said, "Don't bother." I'll figure it out. Maybe the 0.5 is right. But I like the suggestion of doing something to help communicate our game status, given that the overlay is now covering it up. Sure, Craig, go for it. Craig has a Mastery Pass question. If you have not seen it, my YouTube channel has a recent extensive breakdown of the Theros Mastery Pass. See ya, Fiddles. Randomness is funny. If you're going to play a lot, should I get the pass now or wait, like you explained? I mean, if you're sure of it, like, go ahead and you can get it. It's fun. You know, the benefit of getting it now is that you get all the stuff now. So if you like, especially if you like cosmetics, like if you're the type to really get excited about changing how your stuff looks in the game, you're definitely going to want to do it early because then you get access to those cosmetics early. But for me, I'm just looking at it as a pure value exchange, and I don't see a reason for myself to wait or to jump the gun and instead just wait until I'm sure the value is there. Maybe something happens in my life, like maybe something happens, Garfield forbid, but like if something took me off the grid for a month, probably I wouldn't care about Arena anymore if something in my life was happening that way. But I just don't see why I should invest in something where I'm not 100% guaranteed of the results if what I'm getting out of it immediately doesn't really do anything for me. So, yeah, Mama, on the other hand, Mama's like on the opposite end of the spectrum of me in terms of how what we're looking for this stuff. I know Mama loves bling, she loves sleeves, she loves pets, she loves all the cool stuff that's in the Mastery Pass that's cosmetic, and she loves that by buying it early, you just get extra stuff every day. It's like, you know, it's like the Magic Arena equivalent of the loot crate. You know, you're just getting a little extra stuff every day. So if that makes you happy, do that. For me, though, what makes me happy is knowing for sure that I have value, right? That's what makes me happy. So that's how I do it. And that's true, but you get that as well, Craig. So like the other thing for me is with my current resources, I want for nothing. There is no deck that I can't make. There's nothing in the Mastery Pass that gets me any closer to any goal of mine by opening it early. Whereas if I want those cards for constructed because I need them, or there could be many reasons why you would want to do it because you needed or wanted those things early, but I just don't. So Criterionist asks, how do you craft enough rares to get gems in free-to-play? Well, craft enough rares to get gems. I don't fully understand your question. If you're talking about how to use wildcards to create gems in draft, that's a different thing, but I don't think that's what you're asking. Maybe it is. Yeah, I need you to refactor your question, Criterionist. I'm not sure exactly what you're asking. Oh, that is what you're asking. Okay. What you do is, when you're in a draft, let's say you have 2 copies of Rare X, and then you start a draft and there's Rare X sitting at you. Now, if you draft that, it'll be your 3rd copy of Rare X. Okay. But if you want to convert it into gems immediately, you exit the draft, go to your decks, go craft 2 more copies of that Rare X, so then now you're at 4 copies. You go back into the draft, and now when you finish the draft, you're going to get 20 gems for that instead of not. The cost, though, is 2 wildcards, so I only recommend that technique for people who are using their account for limited only. It's a way for limited only accounts to extract value out of their wildcards for limited, but if you are someone who actually cares about constructed and you enjoy standard, etc., just use your wildcards on cards you want. Yeah, Silo, I'm really down on this approach. Silo says, I saw an approach where rather than pushing to 4 with wildcards to create gems, and again, I don't recommend that for someone who's playing constructed again. You wait to open packs until you have enough packs to complete your rare collection to take advantage of the dedupe protection. And I don't like that way because presumably someone who is doing that really cares about constructed, and therefore someone who really cares about constructed is sitting on a huge monster pile of booster packs instead of opening them and using them for their deck immediately. I don't think it's worth it, but honestly I haven't looked super close. Maybe it is. I'm keeping this for sure. But I just don't I don't understand why someone who ostensibly loves constructed is gonna not open a huge pile of resources for that so that they can more efficiently get those resources. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, if you're Grimoire, I guess if you only sort of care, it's kind of like, anyway. Jersays says, if you are a collectionist who doesn't play constructed, then it's worthy. And there you go. And now you're talking about like, well, that's why I don't really care or do it or suggest it, because it just feels like it's too narrow in who it applies to. All right, what are we going to do at 2-drops? I like to hold off on the Horn Beetle if we're nowhere near getting a counter on it. However, we could draw our 3-drop 4-power creature and get lucky there. So we could also Envoy and have a turn next turn where we put Sentinel's Eyes on the Envoy and deploy one of our green 2-drops. I think I actually like that. We only have 1 white mana and we have 2 cheap white cards. So let's play the cheap white card. Or rather, not play the cheap white card, but set ourselves up to 2-spell here. So with that, now I'm going to want to Sentinel's Eyes our Envoy. And just play the Junker Dancer to try and trade off with the Chimera and save the Horn Beetle. maybe this is a trick or something, but Grove Dancer is happy to trade for any resource Oppo has, basically. Pilgrim. Pilgrim uses all of our mana, thins our deck of non-lands a little bit, gets us our best aura, and uses all our mana. So I think we do that. We could Hydra's Growth, but then we still can't use our mana after that. Yeah, I gotta take the Blessing over the Training. Hydra's Growth does get beetles growing, but it's not worth it. Not worth the risk. Can't find some land. That's hurting us. But we do have... We don't. We have Blessing, which almost but not quite get... Maybe we just have to go for Hydra's Growth now. I don't like putting all eggs in one basket either, but we're at a spot in this game where I don't think we have a choice. We could get blown out here, and if so, I can totally accept it. I mean, I'm accepting that kind of risk playing Hydra's Growth to begin with. And sometimes when you do that, you're going to get blown out. But maybe, just maybe, we can stabilize. Oh, nice. We are still in a spot, though, where we just don't have... I guess we could Blessing here and take out one. Should we just do that? I mean, this is okay. We only have one green, though. Kill both? I don't think we can kill both in a world where we have 5 green cards and 1 forest. Right? Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem we're facing. Yeah, we could just beetle it, but no, I don't think we want to beetle because we really want to kill a Forerunner here. The question is, are we killing a Forerunner with Return to Nature or Blessing? And I think we just do Blessing. Then we get extra big. Just can't block, and we're not attacking, so... Or we're not blocking with this, so we're attacking. They kind of have to deal with the Envoy now. I guess they have 2 turns. That's not really dealing with it, so we're okay with that. We do take a big smack here. I assume that if they had something to take out the Envoy, they would, and we can block here. They don't have blue, so they can't counter the Return to Nature. Maybe are there indestructibles that I need to worry about in green or black? I know there is in white. Yeah, I suppose that could have been a setup for favor. But maybe I shouldn't have risked it. All right, we're going to end turn and have Return to Nature for the Forerunner. All right, they're just giving it up. Black, green, pretty heavy enchants, or at least we saw... I guess we didn't actually see that much, did we? We saw Forerunner, Chimera, and Charger. That's literally all they played. But those double Forerunners, I don't know if that makes me want to add a third Return to Nature. But yeah, I guess they did play the Grasp. It was just on my creature, so I didn't notice it there for a second. So we could bring in another Mystic Repeal. And what are we cutting for it? I'm going to cut the Growth. Really makes Heliod's Pilgrim risky. But I really also don't like them. I don't like running Growth against black, although it is good against green, you know, getting big against other green stuff. If we didn't cut the Growth, what would we cut? I don't want it to be a creature. We could cut Sentinel's Eyes again. It did some work there, though. I'm going to go with the Growth cut. Yeah, we only saw a handful of their cards though, and they're playing black, so I'm quite worried about the removal they could have. And in green, they probably have a lot of enchantment removal as well. You can keep this, but hopefully find something else to do on 2. Nothing to do on 2 here, so that's something to do on 1 though. All right, no 2-drop for us. We have a 3 on Relentless Pursuit. And then if we find some more white, our hand starts to take off a bit, hopefully. Let's see what Oppo comes up with on 3. The power of Oppo's turn 3 play could impact how tough this game will be for us to navigate. I like the plan of nothing. I don't believe it yet. They could still have something instant speed, but we'll see soon enough, I suppose. Okay, so we get our second Plains or first Swamp, knowing that getting that Swamp again could be rough. We have 2 double white cards in our hand, so I think we just have to take the second Plains. And if we find Poly, we'll be a little bit sad, but this is the play we got to make. Well, that's pretty good. We're going to make a Chimera, and if we could end up going Shadow Spear plus Blessing next turn to take it out. Yeah, I could do Dancer and Equip. What does that get us? Dancer and Equip. It means they won't attack with this, I suppose. Does it set us up to Blessing successfully? I guess it sets us up to Blessing successfully, which is what I really want to do. So we'll do that. All right. Mainly it was about how are we dealing with this, and this play allows us to do so with a Blessing, and it uses all our mana, so I like it. Well, they're offering the trade. Wow. I kind of just like taking the trade here and dropping the Chimera and equipping it. I mean, we don't care about this Grove Dancer. Who cares? I didn't think they were going to attack. Do I see any design issues they have solved with this set? Well, I think they improved on the it's complicated in the right ways. Like original Theros and the auras that fell off into creatures was pretty complicated, pretty brain breaky stuff for Magic. So I like that there's a lot going on here, but it's a little simpler in its nature. We could, yeah, let's just Chimera and equip then. I liked Bestow okay too, Brian, but it wasn't a great... It wasn't an elegant mechanic. Pretty easy trade there too. Our creature is escapable, and we gain life. All right, so they're really going for it. We have Forest. I guess we just go Archon here. We have at least one enchantment we can get back with it. What are our other options? We could Envoy, and then what? If we Envoy, we are Blessing and Equipping. None of that makes much sense. Let's just make the big one. Well, if we Grove... Okay, what does Grove, Equip, Fight get us? Grove, Equip, and Fight, and then we take out Renata. They only have one... I'm just not as much worried about this anymore, and kind of like getting our big flyer out. Although, I suppose we do want this off the table eventually. You do 3/3. Yeah, let's just get her off the table. I think a little bit normal is right. We should just do this while we can. Well, you were very right because it caused Oppo to scoop. Game winning, you might say. Deck is performing better than I thought. Like, it's... Maybe we're drawing some of its good stuff, but it's working. Pelucranos is our black splash. All right, another spear. Altar for the splash and the ramp. Ramp to 5. This looks great. Just need basically any land and we're looking great here. Oppo mulliganing. Yeah, how lucky we'd have access to 5 Grove Dancers. All right, haven't found our land yet. We have one more draw before it's a little awkward, and we have our one obvious play here. Good news is if we don't find a land, we at least have Equip Attack, which is not even, you know, if that's our worst case scenario, you could do a lot worse. All right. Given that they destroyed our creature, I'm sure glad we found our land. I'm going to hop to the altar and find one more land, and then we can Daybreak on 4. Actually, we can do it without, because I forgot this increases devotion, so we actually just get the Chimera with or without land. And as cool as that is, I'm going to do this in... Well, the one thing that could wreck us is the white pacifism. So we could drop Chimera first to feel out the possible pacifism. This is one of those spots. Are we trying to go play our best card and make him answer, or do we play bait and... Yeah, I think it'll have the 3 damage spell, but I'm kind of okay with that too. I guess... Yeah, I'm going to play Pelucranos because we have multiple ways in our deck to get it out. Now you want bait? People want bait? All right. Well, bait then, sure. AVB wants to make them have it. It's a tough call. Because the other thing is that if they have it, we do have two pieces of answers to their possible the removal that we're worried about. Because if they do removal that allows us to still activate the fight, we don't even really care. Hydra on Pelucranos is kind of win more, honestly. We did it once and it was funny, but I mean, it's not even what it's memey and funny, but I don't think it's actually great. So this thing has reach. If we attack in, they just kill it, and we can't equip and still cast Poly. So gonna say that our bait tested the waters, but now we're just gonna drop Pelucranos. Yeah, we have one turn to try and equip onto Pelucranos, but oh, it's just what I was saying. Don't attack into the Reacher, Ryan. Like, really, I want this on the Chimera to distribute our threats, you know? I hear you, Silo. It was a reasonable line. I think dropping Pelucranos when they showed no removal for the Chimera makes a lot of sense, though. If they tap out and we find land, we could do Hydra's Growth on Pelucranos and fight. What makes sense, Haj? It hasn't always had reach, but it's not a recent addition. It's been around for a while. Somebody find the first red creature with reach. I think it was in original Return to Ravnica block. That's my gut. It was like a weird 4/2 reach spider or something like that. Reach creature. All right. Well, you're going to get an attack and a critter. We could just block now. We'll, I don't even really care. Polly's gonna get that life right back. Okay, so with 6 mana, we can do growth fight. We can do equip fight, which we could have done anyway. That doesn't really matter. I think we equip fight and then we kill this thing. Poly goes down to 1, but at 6 mana, we're happy to cast him back anyway. Needle Peak. Needle. There, look, I remember some stuff sometimes. Wait, I gotta see what... Okay, it's using green. Oh, we'll get there. I mean, we're one relentless pursuit away from all the graveyard we need. I'm gonna keep it in the yard for now, though. Or keep it on board for now, rather than put it in the yard. Like, I could attack and make them block. But I'm gonna wait. Yeah, Mensch, but it's still kind of win more. Like, we're going to make him at 12-12 out of the yard, and we just never need to put Hydra's Growth on Polukranos to run away with this. If we attack first and they chump, then we lose Polukranos on the attack, on the fight anyway. So it didn't really matter to me, Padre. Result was going to be the same. And in fact, attacking just gives them the choice of putting this in the yard, putting this in the graveyard if they want. Oh, trample's fair, sure. I forgot trample. Can't lose poly while equipped. No, I think you're misreading this, Croaker. It doesn't have hexproof. It stops hexproof elsewhere. We could just block here. I suppose. Let's just block. No. Well, I mean, yeah, prevents that. Prevents the damage, but then removes the counters equivalent. Oh, yeah, will this work? Let's see. Yeah, it needs to have counters. I wanted him in the yard anyway, so... There's not a lot of graveyard hate, and they're out of cards. Start here. Planes, and just want a sentry, right? Get big. Well, I'm just going to swing with a life-linking angel or whatever here until... not taking the land to fuel the yard feels a little fancy play to me. I don't know. Maybe it's more valuable in the yard. They're going pretty wide. We could lose this to a hyper aggro. Want our vigilant aura now. So now we'll go sentry. Scry, get that out of the way. So, we could grow the Hydra. We could attack and move the equip though, and that gets us a nice, yeah, attack and move equip is where equip is where I was at, but we could Hydra to get an extra life. Yeah, let's just do that. Let's do that. I like attack, gain 4, move equip. This is worth more life, which I think is really kind of what we need now. If they want to swing in now, they got to give us 4 life back on the deal. And we also got to watch out for +2/+1 to target, and then plus to your whole team. Tribal 3 heads. Huh. Well, I guess that says they don't have the +2/+1. Like, it feels like there's cards in the set that could bring them a win from that position, but maybe they just don't have them or weren't interested in trying. Okay, they are pretty heavy enchantment. We're going to bring in our other aura. Yeah, I like that hat for my eventual soundboard. All right. Boom. Boom. You get in. Hydra's growth could still be good against them. What were their flyer? They have one flyer. Any other flyers? Because we have a plummet. We only see... This is the only flyer we're seeing. I mean, I presume they probably have another or two, but I'm going to wait on plummet till we see good targets. And... She liked the Sentinel's eyes. I want that too. Kind of just cut the pursuit. I like it though. But I want to cut a spell, not a creature. So we're looking at, like, what are my worst ones? I mean, I like them all. That's the problem. Can't cut that. We're trying to keep our... Yeah. Yeah, I'll cut Hydra's growth again. That's what I cut before, but it feels like it's decent in this matchup. You know, red can't do anything about Hydra's growth, and they're playing red, which is why I like it. But I mean, repeal is what we were adding, so Oppo going first. We're missing green, but we have two great cards against their clear aura-based strategy, and we have Hornbeetle into Chimera. 2 shots at one of our green sources, and then we just have the monster open. How greedy. Yeah, if we brick, we're just, like, screwed, though, right? I'll be grown up, but that was close. Gosh, swamp. Swamp. Now I think we have to keep this and hope. Like, I guess we could go to... Nah, I'll go to 7. I mean, I'll go to 5. Wow, deck. Wow. All right. Well, sometimes it happens. Yeah, that's what we signed up for. And let's see, we are... .5 and 0. Yeah, that's quite a lot of cards to look at and not see a forest in our deck, but here we are. And counting. Yeah, thanks, deck. Thanks. That's right. They can have this one. We'll get them in 3. You know there was a forest on top in that first hand, too, that I almost kept. You just know it. Now we're going to find a forest right now and pull off the amazing comeback as they flood out. Well, it's a play. Sure is. Fool auto. Sure is. Kind of want to block and try and bounce here, but no, we can't. We never. I can do numbers. I was thinking it was a 1/3. No, it's a. They don't bounce, so obviously we can't. And I was gonna say, even if it looked like we could bounce, I wouldn't block, because in order for us to survive here, we're gonna need Envoy to actually do something. Pilgrim here. It's a land, I'll take it. I mean, we can at least cast Favored or Pilgrim. I guess we start Pilgrim. And nothing, never mind. We don't have it anymore. I should have played Iroas. I'm not even sure. Lesson is, make sure you know what you're getting with Pilgrim before you play it. Yeah, I don't know why we sided out all those forests. It was a weird decision. Yes, we are... The record down there is correct. We're 2-0, up a game in match 3. Come on, Oppo, just do stuff. I'll scoop pretty quickly here. We're almost dead. If they, yeah, there you go. Just kill something. Just do something and we won't be able to recover. Yeah, let's call this. All right, Magic, you had your fun playing with our hearts. Now just give us a reasonable draw, okay? Okay. I'm gonna keep this. We don't have any plays yet, but these are good on any creature we find. This fixes our colors, so I'm gonna keep this one. I think that's correct. I don't think that was just frustration of the results of last game affecting me. Like being afraid to mulligan or whatever. I mean, you're not drawing great here. Doesn't look like Oppo is either. Cereal. Do we show him that in game 1? Oh, and we showed him the spear. That's why they brought that in. That makes total sense, actually. Did we? Did we show him the spear? Can't remember. No, this didn't come out in game 1, right? Or else we would have had something to do. Both did, huh? I don't remember that. Oh, game 1, sure, we're in game 3. Alright, Chimera, you're a little late, but good to see you. Now it just needs to survive. If we can live and make this a 5-4 vigilance, then we'll be in shape. Well, I guess he's right on time because we didn't end up with keeping the altar. So can't really two-spell here. I'm gonna go with training. Yeah, we might. I should have. Let's see. I should have trained before I played the land. Yeah, did my usual screw up. Hasty on the land plays. All right. Well, this lets us go get blessing for next turn. Although for this turn, we're just gonna do eyes and then go pilgrim for the blessing. Yeah, go for green blessing. AKA our only target left. Too bad. By beefing up our Chimera, we made it killable. And a little rough here. We got to take some serious damage and hope Rumbling and Warbriar is enough. Polly, new plan, new plan. Gotta go for the flyer here. They have 2 mana and a pause. They could flicker us here and wreck. But we still get to, in that case, get Polukranos back and put eyes on it. Okay, that's very... I was really worried. If they flickered us, we'd be in such a worse position. Do I want Sentinel's Eyes on Polly? No, actually, he's likely to die eventually anyway. Let's put Sentinel's Eyes on the Pilgrim, attack, and then we have something for the Revelers as well. Could easily still be dead to a lot of stuff from Oppo. Like, they could have a Portent. Beat us with Portent would be pretty good. I'm really, like, they got this 2 white pause. Really, makes me think Flicker, but I feel like if they had Flicker, they would have used it by now. So I don't know what is causing the pause exactly. Hey, it's Indomitable Will. What do you know? Yeah, let's see if we can untap. Alright, that's a good start for us. Like, in the sense that that's pretty innocuous, but I'm bracing for impact. Great attack from Oppo because we actually don't have good Polukranos blocks. Yeah, we have to double block and go to 2, and we'll take out the Revelers. Yeah, Regional Hat, because we're experiencing that now, right? If I'd put the eyes on Polukranos, we can block and trade. Well... Right, Fresh. I mean, Fresh says if they have combat trick, we lose. Well, yeah, there's a bunch of things they could have where we lose, but if you can't beat them, you only play around them when you can beat them, right? Huh, they went with that. So we'll go Sentry, Grove Dancer. Do we like Grove Dancer? I mean, at least it's a thing. We're at 2 life. I think we got to get all the creatures we can. Also, I don't want to Sentinel's Eyes again because we want to save for a rebuy of Polukranos, but maybe it's worth it. Then Polukranos at least trades there. We want to do that. Because we're also pretty far away from rebuying Polly. Yeah, that's true. Grove Dancer can start activating to fuel a rebuy of Polly. Okay. I do like the escape is a great mechanic. It's really making us think as Magic players. How do we... What's the best way through the situation? That kind of thing. Like, flashback is so easy. Flashback, if you have the mana, you do it. Managing escape resources is a fun side game in the format. At least I find it fun. Interesting. Let's not be hasty, Ryan. Figure out what your turn is before you start acting. We could fight twice. I can't fight twice. Can only fight once because of the one swamp. Probably just play Grove Dancer and pass, and then be able to activate Grove Dancer or activate Fight at instant speed. Yeah, it is very Delvey. Same design space as Delve, really. If we attack, what do they do? Are we cool taking a trade for either of these? If we attack with both, they can't even block with the Cyclops. We're at 2, so we can't really do it. I don't know. If they spend their turn looting, that's probably good for us. Because that's 3 mana they're using. I think if we fight, we need to take out something with 4. I'm going to wait. Polly had an attack, but not one that I wanted to give them a choice in how to block. Because remember, if Polly takes damage, he loses counters. And being a 4/6 on defense is really important right now, and I didn't want to lose counters to an attack. That was my thinking, Silo. It's possible I was wrong, but that was my thinking, at least. Interesting. Well, now I like fight on... What are we fighting? Because we're going to fight to make this not work. Reduce counters. And let's go ahead and take out the Storyteller. Well, Cyclops, if we attack with 2 things, can't even block. So that's pretty important. So I'm going to take out the Storyteller. One 3 is another way to go there, but I like taking out the big thing. Silo, eventually it's going to be about attacking, and then we'll be happy that this guy's gone. And really our situation doesn't change much facing a 4/4 versus a 3/4, given that we have a 3/6 back. Rummaging is bad. I'm dead to Omen. Oh, yeah, sure. Well, we're going to do it ourselves, though, too. That's nice. Get out of that. Get out of range of that card. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I guess I will play this since it represents 3 activations. And do we want to do anything? Like, we could run Polukranos. It's a Vigilant, and I kind of want it dead now. But maybe we want it dead on D. We only have 1 in the yard right now. I'm going to wait. Not yet. Yeah, you're right. Not yet. I did the math. We're not close enough on buying him back to offer him up. Yeah, we have the 4/1 Escaper. But I think that's it. Yeah, Loathsome is our only other Escaper here. Pegasus. Okay, Pegasus. Flyers are generally a problem. We're gonna have to aggressively. Hopefully, they send in that gives us a block with Pelucranos now, because now I really want Pelucranos dead. Yeah, probably gonna cycle twice and fight the Clops, but ideally we would do this. Yeah, so now we go. Let's see first. See what we mill. Nice. So now we've got 3 in the yard. Yeah, we can't cast and fight because of the double black mana, but we're also not dead next turn. And I think we should fight for suicide because it puts 2 more cards in the yard, and then we can cast Poly. Oh, I thought we could. Is that not enough? Six others. Oh, I thought Poly was 5 others. That's why my math was a little off. 1 more mill, but we can do it. Yeah, we can do it with the mill. Let's start there. Ooh, ouch. That would have been nice to get back. But it is gone forever now. Yeah, we're not going to lament that. That's just unknowable stuff there. All right, we're fading. If they do find their omen, their red omen, we're kind of dead. So keep, you know, we got Poly back, but we need to fade. We need to fade 2 extra damage from them this turn. So there's a lot of ways they could get us. But if we can untap, we should be in excellent shape. Ah, and they got us just like that, as I said. All right, well, we took our first loss here. That's not half of a game, it's half of a match. Double D's, and you tell me, what does winning half of a match mean? Well, at least you get a meteor going for that. Yeah, I feel like I would take, I'd happily take my chances against Oppo's deck with our deck anytime. We just didn't get there this time. Good game, Arena. Well played to beat Pelucranos. Just trash talking a little bit and saying that I liked our matchup, like that I like my chances against you on any given game, but you played really well to get us that time. Good game. Just telling chat, like, there's about 1 million things a red deck could have to add 2 more damage onto that flyer right here. We could just be dead before we untap. We could repeal that, but I'm not going to bother now. We'll save that repeal. Well, doesn't that stink? Now we're going to lose one of our, either our Hydra's Growth or our Blessing. Nightmare is growing on me. It continues to be a 2-for-1 most of the time, and then what's really sold me on Nightmare is how not irrelevant Chapter 3 is. Yeah, we could repeal it. That's true. Maybe we should just do that. I was thinking of this as a creature killer, but we can just bin that. Yeah, let's do that. And we'll find... Trouble is we're taking a lot of damage here, but yeah, I think I'd rather keep the Blessing. Oof. No. Oppo kind of curving on us pretty brutally. We're trying to find something to play and basically failing. If we literally draw a swamp, we're not dead, so I guess we won't scoop. But we're basically dead. We are, in fact, mostly dead.
But your friend here is only mostly dead.
Well, that was a garbage game. Did you have fun, everybody? We played a spell. Magic. This looks like green-black value town. Playing wardens, so maybe there's more more than that going on. I don't think I want to bring in more anti-artifact or anti-enchantment because we didn't really see anything beyond Grove Dancer. I'm just going to run it back. All right, this has some hope. When you say kill the escape Gorgon, do you mean like exile it from the graveyard, or do you mean? I mean, we have Pelucranos. We can kill a lot of things. We have the capability of killing many things. Is that worth repealing? You could deny them some mana. Deny them an eventual wolf. I don't know. Since we're not sure exactly how much kind of targets they have for it, I'm going to do it. If this were a known aura deck with like lots of enchantment creatures that we'd seen in game 1, I would maybe not make that play, but we didn't actually see much from them. Oh good, we get to kill this thing. Unless they somehow manage to find the knot block. I am going to kill it. It's going to get super annoying if we don't. Growth. High risk, high gain. But I think we're in that mode here. I'm going to keep it. I mean, we're playing this. Like, if you're going to play the Hydra's Growth, take some risk. Yeah, I mean, Luis and Marsh were really harsh on this, but as I play it, you know, 3/6 is a relevant body, and is a relevant body, and the Scry 1, very nice. We're going to play the land so we can growth and activate Grove Dancer, and Sentry's pretty big already, so we're going to make a big Grove Dancer. No, I'm not playing around anything. I mean, I put this card in my deck, dang it, and I'm going to use it and try and win with it, and we'll see what happens. Sentry can stay back and stop the Charger. Maybe that's fine. Maybe we'll keep back on D there. All right, cross your fingers. We have put ourselves at risk. That's pretty good. We still have a block. Excuse me, I got some coffee grounds in my coffee, and I'm now getting some texture in my beverage. Yeah, we could just take 5 if we're really worried about the favor. Are we? I don't think they have it. I kind of want to call the bluff. All right, I'll wait. I'll take 5, but... Is it worth preferring non-enchantment creatures for auras to evade disenchants? I mean, I think that's a reasonable tiebreaker. It's going to depend situation to situation, though, right? All right, well, they've got a double block on the Grove Dancer now, so we get 7, though, and that's still enough to kill it. So we're just going to play Bearers and pass. We didn't want him to double block the Grove Dancer when the Grove Dancer is on the cusp of getting way out of hand, so we're going to see if they find something in time. And this is where it can almost be like, you know, you think you're there, but Oppo may be like, well, this is about to get out of hand, but I got the removal. I'll let it grow a couple more turns and then remove it before it's a real problem, you know? So 9 toughness on the attack for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 power. So we're going to wait again. And I'm going to keep playing lands because they get us activations on Grove Dancer, which is going to matter eventually when we find we're going to mill Polukranos and get him back or something. What do you think this is about? Kind of makes me want to not put the Grove Dancer at risk at all, but to do that and just take 5. Could also put both on the charger so that if they do have something, we for sure get it. Yeah, there is +3/+3. So if we do this, we actually get the well, because we can block here and ostensibly eat it. Right. This plays around this. If we do this, we're trying to just eat it or trade for a trick, which actually I think is fine. What beast? I don't know what you mean by beast. But if they want to escape it, that's good. They still can't get there. I mean, we could just take the 4 and try and get the Berserker. I'm letting this go to time because I really want to figure... Because this is another block we could do. If we're going to do the double. If they go to 8 here, we still survive. If they pump this. Yeah, I'm going to do this, I think. I'm doing this. Let's see what they got. They got something. Or not. Ah, they're bleeping it. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, all right. All right. Well, this is an interesting spot now. We need to draw. That was an unfortunate mill, but we do what we must. So, are we just dead now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're awfully close to dead. Should be a sucky way to go out. You'd rather mill the thing that could have gotten us 11 life back? I don't know. Oh, you would have rather milled what? Oh, this. Yeah, yeah, of course. Of course. But, I mean, you don't control your mills and you don't worry about it too much. So, yeah, either they kill us or they can't really attack us. I could hide that card in my hand, but we're not, you know... We do have one... Yeah, maybe we gain a life here. I could have not played the altar, but actually if we find Polukranos, it could be relevant that we have 2 black sources as well. Sentinel's Eyes would be great if we find that. I suppose I could have done that on my turn. Should have, yeah. Dracoman, you're right, and because of that we should be milling on our turn and looking for some of our escape plays. But Oppo hasn't just, like, snap swung in, so maybe we are not completely out of it. Okay, good. And they realize they don't really have the crackback, or that we have a good crackback. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yeah, we play it and we could get 2, but let's go looking for the eyes. Or something that gives trample. killing me, Smalls. I didn't bother with the final mill because we couldn't play off anything if it found something anyway. Come on. Oh, God. All right. This is funny. All right. All right. That's something. We could attack. They haven't had the answer so far. Yeah, let's swing. They have to block with something, so we'll swing. It takes them off of the... Like, then if they even remove Pelucranos, I don't think they have a win. But that's the thing. We are playing around Final Death, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, we're not. Never mind. Sorry. Yeah, I think I should have done the math. I don't like our attack now because they are... If they find removal, we're dead. So, yeah, I regret it. I think we should have held back. There was no point... I did not want to give them an out to removal to win, so if we get punished with that, my own fault. Alright, well, didn't get punished. They had a win, Jikerman? Did you see a win? What else did we learn? We learned they have training. That's not worth it. Oh, they have Renata. That could be worth additional enchantment hate, but maybe not. I mean, we still didn't see a bunch, and we have 2. Yeah, another Gary would have done it too. All right, I'm not going to make any changes. We're just going to run it back. Yeah, Fresh, but we gave them outs to a win. We could have played in a way that gave them 0 outs to a win and set us up for the next turn anyway. This looks good. Oh, I put Sentinel's Eyes in the sideboard. That classic. I could check too, you know. No, I have Sentinel's Eyes in the deck according to untapped.gg. I don't know. All right, Beetle. The Beatles. Oh yeah, there is 1 copy in the board and 1 copy main. Man, again with this brutal card. However, in this case, oh man, if they had just played... All right, now with the training, I guess we go ahead and return it to nature. It's kind of gross. Because I really don't want to lose the training because we can put it on the Aroas and that's really good. Blah. I'm going to play Heliod's Pilgrim here instead of the Favored because I'm totally willing to put Pilgrim in front of that Chimera, and we'll go get our removal spell here. Blessing over Sentinel's Eyes and Hydra's Growth feels correct, although it could be a Hydra's Growth situation too if we just wanted to go for that. But let's just get removal. Oh, here I haven't... Ugh. That's good. Oppo curving out again in very painful ways. Can't make that block now, but I can at least bounce here. Chimera is interesting for us. Wish we had a land, though. Can't really do it unless we could bless. I want to bless. I guess we play the Chimera and try to go Pilgrim on Chimera and our Chimera on their Berserker. But they could have a lot of stuff here to really disrupt our plans. This is a big defensive turn for us. If we don't enact the trades we were looking for here, we could be in serious trouble. So let's hope they don't have tricks and hope we get the trades we're asking for. Okay, got the trades. And that's not a great follow-up attacker. It's annoying, but it's not a great attacker, so I'm liking that result. Okay, now what do? We can go... Well, I'm going to use all our mana. If we had 2 planes, I would go Favored Sentinels. We could go Favored, set it up for next turn. Yeah, never mind. I'm going to do Favored, because it could be good next turn. I'm using less than maximum mana, but to get our potential double striker going. Seems to be them offering a bounce since they didn't send in the chain web. If they actually have a trick and the chain web being held back as a bluff to get us to block, that's pretty genius. But I'm also okay with that. Like, yeah, since we're not ready to attack, if they want to use tricks on taking out this favor, it's actually not that big a deal for us. We want to get a little more defensive anyway. All right, worked out. It worked out. We got a plains too, which is the land we wanted to see. Sentinel's Eyes, I like on this because we can do some good attacking. And I like even waiting on the blessing. Yeah, we just do bearers and eyes. So we'll do bear, although bearers doesn't really impact combat, so I'm going to send without it so we look more threatening with 4 mana up here. I want to kind of dole out our enchantments 1 turn at a time to keep triggering favored, although I kind of did 2 there, so that I'm not following my own plan on that front. But I don't want to play training and blessing on the same turn because we're trying to trigger favored every turn. So they showed us no tricks before. Now they're just straight up offering I'm going to offer the bearers, but I'm not going to try for an eat here. We're just going to keep our favored. Yeah, it could be a Catoblepus. Again, I'm willing to do it for the bearers. They can do whatever they want on the bearer front. All right, now we can even just drop the Archon if we want. We have no enchantments in the yard to get back if it dies, though. So we could just continue to go with our plan here, and we can even do... No, we can't do Chimera plus a Blessing. So I want to use all our mana, so I'm going to play the Archon. Well, if we training first, we might find something else to play. That's true. Wonder what's going on here. All right, I'll start with training. That's fine. And we'll save Poly mana in case we find Pelucranos. All right, well, that's a play. And I'm going to do this to threaten the possibility in combat. Although, again, we want to wait on Warbriar's Blessing, not only to take out their backup spider plan, but because we want to trigger Favored next turn. That's fine. Great. Let him eat the Envoy. Maybe I just shouldn't have played the Envoy is your point, but if they spend their whole turn getting the spider back, given the Blessing, that's good for us. And that's good for us, too, because of the Trample. All right, now we get Archon and Blessing. We got to do that, right? All right, so we can even bless. Let's get rid of the Chimera. Yeah, Spider's gone. No, we have a game in this match. That's what that means. So let's see. If we get this, they have 6 total toughness for 8 trample plus 9, 10, 11, 12. So I guess if we just take out toughness, we win, right? I'll go with that. I'll go with the win. No, that doesn't work. 8, 9, 10, 11. Then we go... They're at 12. No, we don't get it. They still get a block. Never mind. It's not a win. So... Yeah, I will take out the biggest power then. That allows good attacks here. All over the place. Huh? Big chunk of life and a card. See what they can do with it. Finding an enchantment creature is nice because it re-triggers Favored. So we're going to start there. Gonna hold back the Envoy. Let's see, if I do the math, they have 3 power of reach, but we're happy if they block. I guess they get a free block there, so it's not really a good attack. I like sending this to distract, though. They got to put something on it somewhere. Let's do these. Is it GG? Yeah, I'll just send it all. Whatever, let's send it all. They're too far up against it. Yeah, exactly, Steven. They can't afford to block a 1 power in that attack. All right, we got there. We made it to 3 wins. Got our money back. Our gems back, that is. I'm going to take a quick bio break, and then we're going to try and march to 5. I'll be right back. Hey, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for waiting. I am back. Ready to chase profit. We're break even. Looking for win number 4. All right. Thank you, Nubble. Appreciate the cheer. We've got Grove Dancer on 2. Find some land. We can get a favorite on 3 or a Chimera on 3. All right, found our 3rd land. That's pretty huge. We don't currently have any enchantments to play. I'm going to drop the Chimera as a natural 4 power. Obviously, it doesn't have the potential of double strike or anything, but I like the sure thing 4 power with no enchantments in hand to trigger it. Should trigger favored, that is. Uh-oh, let's see what Oppo's doing. This is, we're getting into the high win territory, so I'm expecting very good decks, good opponents, good cards, that kind of thing. Although that's not a big surprise. We see that card a lot. And we have a good tool to stop it. Now, here's an interesting spot, because we have a Relentless Pursuit. If there is a forest on top, we're super happy, because we get the forest, we play it, and we play the repeal. I think we have to, because we need to hit our land drop anyway. So I'm going to Relentless Pursuit. If we miss on forest, they get to drop presence for a turn, but repeal will still work the turn after, so it's not the end of the world if we don't find green here. But we do. We also find swamp, though, and obviously Pelucranos more important than repealing that dude on this turn specifically, so we're going to go ahead and get our swamp, and sadly whiff on creatures. But that's not bad. Gain 3. I'm going to send both. Go ahead and block. That's going to trade eventually. We're going to be able to get it back eventually. It'll help us. Well, actually, I don't want to get this back. I'm going to get Pelucranos back eventually. Ah, that's interesting. I think maybe one thing they're doing is like not wanting to envoy, not wanting to put that aura on the envoy because it's a little more susceptible to our tricks here. Unfortunately, still stuck on green, so we can't even go Pelucranos hold up green, but I think Pelucranos is obviously the play. We just hope they don't have the pacifism effect in the format. And if they do, hey, we got the repeal for that. So yeah, all looks good on sending out Pelucranos. Doesn't a Dreadful Apathy do that? Oh yeah, it was the other one, the punishment. Sorry, apathy is fine. It's the punishment that we don't want to see. Okay, second green is nice. Allows us to punch and repeal here. We cannot punch, repeal, and favored, though. If we want to favored, we can favored and punch, or repeal and punch, but we cannot favored, punch, and repeal. Kind of want to punch in response to the commanding presence, but as long as we hold up punch, they're not going to play that, is the thing. I'm going to go with favored, and then we hold up punch and repeal. That seems the best. favored and we can decide what to do. I'm going to leave... We can even attack with Polukranos. If they block, Polukranos becomes a 3/3 that still fights up here. And we got a pretty full graveyard at 5 to eventually get Poly back. Trouble is we take 3 going the other direction. Do we care about that? Yeah, I like Hat, as Hat says. I mean, I should have attacked, but this is fine too. Yeah, this is great. Like, I want to... Now we'll wait, because now they still can't play their aura as long as we have Poly threatening to fight. Yeah, interesting they're doing this. They probably have a spell to save it, but we have the repeal and the rebuy and the fight, so... I don't think they do this without... In fact, maybe we just let it happen and we can bottom the commanding presence and go ahead and let him attack. All right, I'll fight, but they have the blessing. Are you ready for the blessing? Because we can also just wait and then... That's right. We want Poly dead anyway. I think they have the blessing, but it's fine. Wow, they don't? Wow, okay. I'm over the moon. I figured that what we were trading for there was a trick, not the actual creature. And we could get the spear down, but we don't need to hurry to the spear. Let's just sentry with repeal available. Yeah, it may have been a bluff, but it's pretty bad to bluff Polukranos when generally Polukranos players are happy to have him die if their graveyard is full enough. We could keep the repeal. Yeah, I'm going to keep the repeal because we may want to bottom that envoy, and the 1 extra mana to get this out and equip, no big deal. And now we just kill this. Could have waited till end of turn. I was just kind of playing to the F6 or whatever. Oh, and now we just get another easy fight. Who needs Polukranos back? You can fight without him. Well, they're pausing, so this is something. I wonder what it is. Is that it can't be the blessing, or they would have used it. I don't know what is up. I guess we find out. Omen. Recently drawn Omen. You know what? They can even have the favored at this point. I won't offer them the favored. There's no... we'll hold that back. But they can have the Grove Dancer. You know me, maybe playing board control to a fault, but we're going to get there. It's all right. Let's see. Can we get there now? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, that works. So we don't even need the spear. We just do this. Sorry, just doing the math. Yeah, we don't need to show them the spear now, because that's the kind of thing that they bring in enchantment destruction for or whatever. You're not wrong, Ranger, but it's still good to be tight, right? Ranger points out, like, me being a little bit loose didn't seem to matter, but being loose matters in and of itself in some respects. So try to tighten up, Ryan. And white looks like even mono, like that's a lot of, if they're not mono white, that's something else. I think they're just mono white with a lot of auras. So let's bring in our other repeal. Let's bring in our plummet for those flyers. And then let's cut Hydra's growth. And this is where it's tough. And what? Cut the Pilgrim. Right now we're finding Blessing, Training, and Eyes. If we cut Eyes or Training, Pilgrim gets a lot worse. We've never had the Binding in. We're kind of using Relentless Pursuit as a binding type card. And I think bringing it in when their graveyard matters more makes some sense, but the white deck isn't the place for it. Now, Mana Rock supports our bomb. That's, you know. So, yeah, I'm going to cut Pilgrim and go. Definitely keepable, but we want some action on 3 and 4. Well, that gives us some action on 3 and 4, technically. We have 2 2s, but... I'll go with Grove Dancer first. So that's an enchantment creature. We should be able to muck with it pretty good coming up. If we find some of our 3 answers on that front. We could bluff an attack here, but that seems not worth it. Perfect draw would be something to cast on 4. That's 4 mana, 3 mana, you know, something good on 4 is what we want here. I'm going to say no blocks. I don't want to trade for removal or tricks right now. Nothing for us on 4, so this is getting a little bit ugly. Yeah, Dawn Evangel's never seemed that good to me. That's a high setup cost to make something happen there. Well... This is real rough, but I'm not going to block with the Envoy, I don't think, so I might as well attack. We're going to self-mill because we have literally nothing else to do, which is just sad. But we do have a 3/6 into a 4/4 flyer. Maybe that's going to be enough to stabilize. We're going to see. A lot depends on Oppo's plays this turn, like what else they're up to here. If they come up with a nice play, a good 5-drop follow-up, we may be unrecoverable. But if they don't do much here or anything here, we have a chance. But 10 life is pretty low for this board. And we got to spend the next 2 turns basically doing this and this and hoping it's enough. Like, that's fine. If that's the best they've got. Now do that and pass. Will you pass? Just pass. Just pass. Yes! Now I'm gonna start blocking envoys with envoys, make them have something. I like this scry a lot. See case in point. That's also okay. These are all things that our plan to stabilize works with, so this is another big turn. This is our first big stabilization effort, and we get to see whether it works. All right, they're sending in everything. We're going to do some blocking, of course. And that makes me sad. Means they probably have good action here. But make them have it. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. And we could even try to double block on the ground. But I'm going to do this. Maybe we need to try and kill more things. But Archon does that, starts to do that next turn. So yeah, I'm going to do this and continue to hope that like this into Archon is enough. All right, not dead. Just mostly. Maybe just actually, let's see. Do we have anything that gets us out of it? We can 2-spell, but they just attack past, so we are donezo. Yeah, that's what it felt like, Teebs, but we couldn't play around anything at that point. We couldn't beat that card, so it wasn't worth worrying about. All right. We're ways from casting our double whites, but we have some early action, so I like it. Enough of the forest now, deck. You can take a swamp, but a couple plains in a row would be nice. There's the first one. Thank you, deck. Thank you. No action here, but we do get to mill with Grove Dancer or return something to nature if it proves worthwhile. I kind of don't like bothering, but what are we doing next turn? We don't have anything going on next turn. We can't kill it with the blessing. I'm gonna pass in case there's we can do it in response. That was a very nice mill. And this is pretty good too, because we get to both set up Poly, but also lower the cost of Chimera with the devotion aspect of this. And now we hold Return to Nature. And if they try to put an aura on something, we get them. There's only one thing to put the aura on. If they try to put an aura on the Evangel, we get them. Go for it, Sarah. Daxos. Seems more important to return Daxos to nature, although if we return the Evangel to nature, we can just fight Daxos. Interesting. Okay. Well, that's annoying, no doubt, but we will follow through and go destroy target enchantment here, and then we get to fight Daxos next turn at least. Find a plains, we get to play a Chimera. All right, fight with Mystic Repeal. Yeah, I'm going to save Mystic Repeal and use the fight. It's more mana, and kind of narrower in this board. Well, now I wish we had our fight card to try and manage that eventually. All right, that's big game. I bet we can attack. They can't block. Should we do so? Let's do some high-level attacking here. They can't block. It's just impossible for them to block there. Yeah, at least if they make a Pegasus, we know we have a target for the repeal. Gotta start here. Get Swamp and Fighty Dude for sure. Ah, okay. They get a Pegasus 2 and can pile on if they want that death. That sucks, but it's actually not the suckiest of sucks because the main thing is we have the Brawler to try and take out this Archon before things get really out of hand. And we'll take out this Pegasus. I could have activated our guy before it died, but we want repeal up. Mystic repeal what in response to what? I don't know what you mean. Like... All right. They need to have something to stop our Brawler from fighting the Archon, or I really like our position again. We get to... hopefully... Trouble is if we... I could repeal the Aura, but then in response they could just exile, and what we want to do is have them sacrifice that White Omen on their turn, and then repeal in response to the sacrifice of the Omen, and so we get our creature. We still need to draw a land, though, to do everything. We need to draw a land to do everything. Did not draw the land, but obviously hard to complain about this result. We are going to start with the Brawler, though. We can't really play that game. I mean... But we gotta try and kill this thing. So I think we try and kill it with the Brawler here. Yeah, like if they can protect their Archon, we salute and be thankful for our fun day, right? That's too. Oh no, they have this that. Yeah, well, we had to try. And we're not completely dead, so we're gonna wait it out. We can still play Archon and it has a block. I think that was correct though. We were in can't really play around it mode. And here we drop Archon, because we actually need the flyer blocker way more than we need Pelucranos right now. Ooh, that's rough. They're going extra wide. I think that's going to get us the extra wideness here. Darn it. We actually had answers to this bomb, but they had answers to our answers, and it looks like it's going to work out for them. No, it's not going to be a long haul. It's going to be over quite quick, actually. Like now, for example. Well, we didn't get actual profit, but we got broke even. That's not a bad way to start the week. 4 packs. I think we have 10 plus boosters. Let's open some boosters too. Yeah. Working on our collection. Yeah, I'll take break even every day. Yeah, Croaker. Funny how that happens. I like my line. Yeah, moving Dragon's Lair at the end of the stream is very funny, but I salute you. Where am I supposed to move it? I missed it. Oh, there it is. Dragon's Lair box to top left. That's... Isn't it already there? Oh, you want it one over? Like this? Shows up more, maybe a little bit. Shows up for the last 10 seconds of the stream. Ah. I hear you, Croaker. Yep. I'm not saying you're wrong either. Just funny how things go. All right. Thank you all so much for hanging out. This is the free-to-play account. We've only ever spent on the $5 welcome bundle here, and we're pushing our way towards 30K gems, although we're playing exclusively best of 3, which requires gems to play, so it's tough for us to break 30K. But once the best of 1 comes out and we start using our gold to play in the best of 1 queues, then we should push over 30K. So that'll be fun. All right, I'm going to hop to Soapbox and say goodbye to YouTube. Thank you so much for hanging out today, YouTubers. Appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe and tell all your friends and all that stuff. And we'll see you next video. Thanks.